Well, hello folks, how y'all doing? This is Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the man cave. Well, I have the FMS A-10 version 2 70mm, but I sold it to a friend, and you know, to go without an A-10 in my arsenal and fleet of planes is absolutely wrong. So I had to solve that issue. And the way I solved it, by getting the all new, just released. I haven't seen a single video other than FREEWING and Motion RC. The all new twin 80mm EDF A-10 Thunderbolt version 2 from FREEWING. Saw it come on the other day on the feed, and I said, "Oh, I gotta have that. Can't go without an A-10." And I said, if I'm going to go get me an A-10, I'm going to do it right. I never had the version 1, so in fact, the only of the big twin 80s that I have is the FREEWING MiG-29 that's off camera behind you there. But that's the only one I've got. So this is my second big twin 80, and I got the upgraded one with their gyro system. I got a 10-channel Lemon RX stabilized receiver. I will not be using the stabilized function. I'll be using it as a straight 10-channel receiver because it's still cheaper, and I trust Lemon RX receiver. I mean, if I trust enough for this plane, I trust it for any plane. And I went ahead and got a satellite also to go with it. And I'll be using the guard system though, because of the different levels of the gyro, because it's tuned for this plane. So I'm going to be using that. And taking advantage of the thrust reverse, and I can turn the gyro on because you need at least 9 channels with the upgraded version. So that's what we got. Let's get this thing unboxed and start putting her together. Got to have a knife. It just works out so much better. But yeah, the idea of going without an A-10 is just no. Got to have an A-10. Got to have at least one A-10. So, you know, and if you're going to go with an A-10, do it right. You know, get the A-10. Now, I will admit, the E-Flight one, the 2064, that was a nice plane. I ended up selling it because, you know, I fly the dog mess out of planes, and I end up selling them. But, you know, this one, that was a nice plane. All right, completely screw-free. Oh, yeah, and the muzzle, the Gauss GAU cannon, it lights up. It, you know, doesn't make the sound, but it has that light flash. Okay, this one here has the 3658 2150 kV Inrunners, 12-bladed fans, dual 100 amp Brushless ESCs with thrust reverse. It's got 1 9-gram digital servo, 7 17-gram digital servos, 2 23-gram and 2 30-gram digital servos, shock absorbing gear, and of course the doors, the sequence and everything, full ordnance package. Okay, it's got the screwless, completely glue-free design. Formation slime lights, which is cool, which is very cool, something the old one need from what I've watched the videos. Simplified quick connect wings like are on Zeus and some of their newer stuff. That way you hit 2 buttons, and remember when you hit the buttons, if it goes in gray, you're good. If they pop out and you see white, don't fly, okay? You got to get those secured first. They redid the battery base. They got more of that plastic cladding and more added plastic coverings on stuff, so that's good. So let's get her out of the box, quit talking about it. 1700 milliamp or 1700 millimeter wingspan. Oh, let the vacuum. I'm going to be going with the shark teeth. You got 3 livery choices. I'll be going with the one that looks like a shark tooth. I'm not too crazy about the snake or the raptor one, or the warthog one. I'm going to be going with the shark teeth. All right. Of course, it gives you a nice diagram of where everything goes, but I'll be going right with this right here. Okay. Water slide decals. Let me set these off to the side. Find a place to put these. Okay. All right, now, hopefully, okay, good. There's my, I had bought receivers, those receivers I talked about. There's my satellite. And there's my receiver. All right. Let's go ahead. Start getting my debris out of the way. And FREEWING Motion RC, thank you so much for the manuals not being folded. Cannot stand a folded manual. All right, right off the bat, got one wing. And it's kind of heavy. I mean, you got flaps, you got aileron, you got the gear. Okay. And this is definitely substantial. Just like I've said many a time, especially with the quality models like this, I almost can't even, I can barely see the individual cells, but you certainly can't feel them. All them light package here on the end. Oh, that not look great. Wheels are very hard, but they have a little bit of give, But this has incredible gear. And this is that quick connect, remember? Wait, that's on the fuselage, I guess. The quick connect part. Yeah, I guess that would be. Got 2 spars, got a ribbon connection. Very, very nice. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Okay, missiles. I'm going to assume. Yep. Nice detail on these. Not exactly, I mean, look at that. Those are nice. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. All right, get my everything, of course, as usual, is packed for extreme protection. Computer designed packaging. Again, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Quality, I mean, it just screams quality. All right, got the motor nacelles. In their own compartment. How big this thing is. And the thrust tubes, they're angled up because you remember when you have an A-10, you give it immediate thrust, she starts to angle up on you, or angle down on you a little bit. So you got the up thrust tubes. So, you know, she'll want to angle down because the motors are on top and wants to push the plane down, so they got them angled up, so that helps keep you level when you fly. There's your tail. That yellow is that tail reverse thrust sign. All right. Very, very nice. Very nice. Okay. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Definitely getting myself boxed in here. I'll have to unbox myself. That's that laser guiding missile. Okay. Another piece of ordnance. Another piece of ordnance. Okay. And don't lose this. Well, here. They're blocked. You've got an included go get 'em wire. Don't, whenever you are done putting your model together, don't throw that away. You'll be amazed how handy those are. Now you pay attention. Now you've got 2 different diameter spars, and the thin one is longer. So more ordnance. Now here's your bag of bits and bobs. 2 millimeter, you got one type of screw that holds the entire plane together. This is all your bits and bobs. 2 millimeter hex drive should be all you need. Okay. Oh man. Very nice elevator. Hard metal screw-in points for the rudder screw-in. Ball link, got them double-sided, very secure servo arms there. Very nice. You're going to feed your nice big channel to feed the wires through from the rudders, and they just key into the board there. Remember to mind your polarity. Okay. No light up heads up display this time, but a very nice pilot with his instrumentation. Very nice. Very nice. All right. And all of our ordnance pylons. And they're all numbered, like that's got the number 3 on it. These have the number 4, so they're going to be, I think, 1 to out, 2, and these are obviously 1, and they're in pairs. Okay. Now here's something that they've improved, because it always gets, that's that lower, that radar, I don't know, it's an antenna that hangs down below on the side, but it's on a railing system. That way you can easily take it on and off when you transport it. Now why they gave you glue, I don't know, but a nice big thing of glue, the best glue ever, the Chinese glue. Probably to, oh, I bet you it's to glue some of these pylons together. Okay. Looks like, I think these are Sidewinder missiles. Now you scale guys, sorry if I don't get the missiles right. Okay. But I always thought these were Sidewinders. I could be wrong. And you'd be surprised how people get bent out of shape over whenever something's a scale on a scale plane, and I put it together wrong, or I have it on wrong. Boy, on that Phantom, the P61 from Dynam, I had the stars and bars on upside down. They're water slide decals, so once you put them on, you can't change them. Boy, people, here, I bet I had a page and a half of comments saying, your stars and bars are on upside down. And that's all they said. Like, yeah, I realized that afterwards. Nice slime light there. I mean, that's like, you know, like in the Griswolds, in the family Christmas, Clark went through hours and hours of work, you know, put them lights up, and then his father-in-law gets out and looks at it and goes, some of the lights aren't blinking. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Appreciate that. It's like you went right to the negative. Went right to the negative right off the bat. Another thing, nice thing about this whole plane that I've noticed so far, the hinges are pinch hinge and mechanically reinforced. So that is very good. I'm pretty sure the elevator... No, the elevator is a slotted working hinge, an actual mechanical slotted working hinge. So that's good. All right, this one missile does not want to come out. It says no, no. The other sidewinder, if that's what it is, sorry. Sorry if it's not what it is. Okay, now the second half of the fuselage. Again, slime lights there. And this is the quick connect. Should be. Okay, there's your quick connect cable to hook up your rudders and everything. An elevator. And everything's hooked up. All metal points that your screws are going into. There ain't no setting. A nice light there in the back, beacon on the back. It's very nice. Very nice, very nice. All right, now I think we're ready for the main event. The main event. The first half of the fuselage. Fuselage. Huge battery bay. I mean, I can put my arm in there. All hard plastic, all along there. Huge battery bay. Everything labeled for you to plug into your receiver into. I mean, this is going to be a very simple radio set. Now, I'm not crazy about how thin this is, but that's okay. That's awfully thin, but very compressed, hard, strong foam. Nice long pin there on that canopy. Yeah. Now how do you... All right. Look how big that is inside there. Got plenty of room. So I figure out how I'm going to mount my receiver in there. So, yeah. Well, it looks like the sides are perfectly level. I could have mounted it sideways, I believe, running long ways. Actually, it doesn't matter because that's right, because I'm not using it as a so I'll mount it underneath that wooden tray there and plug everything in. You know, since I'm not using it for, so the gyro doesn't matter because I'm not going to be using the gyro. I love. Oh yeah, and I was going to show you on these quick connects. You got them out like that. If you see white, see the white? If you see white, don't fly. They got to be plugged in. they're plugged in, you're good to go. Okay, gray means go. White means stop. All right, well, let me clean up my debris, and we'll get right back, start putting this big, beautiful beast together. Alrighty, folks, this is Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, let's continue on. Now we've unboxed the A-10. Let's go ahead and start our assembly process. Now, first thing you'll want to do is get your plane stand out because it just saves your back. Get your fuse, set it upside down. The only thing I've done off camera is on the end of all the spars, I've glued in the little included little cone shape to where they line up in the foam easier, and on here. And you'll have 2 extra. Okay, now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your fuselage, okay, and it's going to go like this, okay. This, with the fuselage upside down, this should be up towards you, okay. See that hole there? Black spar? FBI calls that a clue. All right, you got 1 ribbon cable. It's going to plug in right there, okay. Slide that puppy in. Then as you get closer, plug that ribbon cable in. It only fits one way, so don't fret. Okay. Has a kind of a satisfying little kind of seating sensation as it goes in. Slide that in. All right, while you're here, go ahead and get one of your screws. All 2mm hex drives for the whole plane. All same screws. Could not make installation any easier. Get that. It has a very obvious stopping point. Okay. Turn your fuse over. And then you got these 2 other places here. Again, very obvious how it attaches. Okay, your fuse is now 1 piece. Okay, turn it back over. Okay, grab a hold of your elevator and your rudders. Okay, set your fuse off to the side for just a moment. Okay, should have done this off camera, but go ahead and unfurl the wires that are jumbled together. Little bread ties. Okay, don't lose the bread ties. There's a reason for them. We may use them. Okay, let's pull them out. Okay. Now, included in the kit is a small go-get-em wire, or go-get-em wire. It's one of these long wires. Okay. Take it, feed it through. See where it hangs out? Okay. This is gonna, because look, that's the way it looks on the plane. Okay. Unfurl your wires. Hook them through the end of the go-get-em wire. Hook them in there. Okay. And you're going to want to pull up. You want them to pull through. Okay, them wires are pulling through, but I'm trying to do this and well, So, you know, when Wes is doing this on camera, everything works perfectly. My go get 'em wire is getting caught. All right, there it is. Pull through the other side, both wires. Okay, go ahead. Pull them through with your hands. Now, this has a very obvious how these pieces of the puzzle fit together. Make sure your wires are out of the way. I'm almost saying they click into place. No, it just pressure fits in there. All right, then you got your two holes here. Your receiving points. Remember going metal into metal. However, you think, well, you can really crank down on it. Yeah, you can to a certain degree, but remember, what's that metal what is all that metal glued into? Plastic. So don't go crazy. You're a lot stronger than the structure. What I'm looking for is this surrounding plastic to kind of start bowing in just a touch. Okay, that's on there. And I've got my connections. All right, it's labeled. Your elevators are already hooked up, and it's labeled on there what's elevator and what's for elevators already hooked up. So all you got to do is hook up your rudders, okay? And follow the polarity, okay? The signal wire is on the far left here. So on my rudder, I'm going to grab that there and plug that in. Now, see, that's now my rudder is plugged in there, okay? Now, polarity, these are both lights. You got two on the side here, okay? The positive is towards the inside, so the red side of the wire is going to go towards the inside of this connection, okay? See, that's how that should look. Okay, all right. Now, let's go get our go get 'em wire. And repeat the same process for the other side. All right. I'm actually, just to show you guys, I'm very excited about this plane. I work a permanent midnight shift. I work permanent graveyard, okay? Well, this came today. This is a Thursday. I have to work tomorrow, Friday, but I don't change my schedule. So if I work, I sleep during the day and stay up all night. I start my days in the afternoons, okay? Well, I got up because I want to fly this afternoon. I got up 3 hours early so that I could give you all an unboxing and a assembly video before we take it out to the field and fly it. Yes, I'm excited, but I wanted to do this. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to fly it and then come back and do an unboxing and build video. Can't really fly the plane unless it's put together. I don't know why that is. That just fits in there nice and tight. And remember, a tight fitting model is a good flying model. I want everything to fit together tight. I mean, I don't want to have to fight it, but if it's nice and tight, then I know it's secure and it's not going to go anywhere. Resist the urge to grab your elevator assembly from the elevator control surface end. Okay? Sorry about the beeping, that's all my batteries. All Lord willing, the creek don't ride. We're going to fly this 3 times. We're going to do a maiden with trim and checking for stall, for a stall characteristic, and then we'll do all right, and then we'll do like a performance, and then we'll do a speed run. Okay. All right. Again, polarity. Pay attention to your polarity. Hooking your rudder up. I know you can't see it right there. Okay. All right, so when you're done, all the yellow side signal, okay, looking at the front of the assembly, this is the rear of the plane going that way. All the yellow signal side should be on this side, and the red from the positive on the lights should be on the inside. So black, also all your negatives on this side, positive on positive left, negative right. Okay, that's on there. All right, now make sure them wires are all nice and out of the way, kind of smushed down. Okay, you're going to take this assembly, and you got that one. Kind of the wires are in the way. You got that one quick connect right there. See a little white box. Got this ribbon here. Again, FBI calls that a clue. Okay, so I'm going to hook that up. Okay, it only hooks in one way. It keys in one way. It's obvious how it goes. Okay, and again, it has a nice little seating sensation to it. Make sure you keep this light wire here out of the way. That make sure it's in this middle of these 2 channels here. Okay, kind of watch your ribbon as you put it down. Okay. Then your whole tail assembly should just seat down in that saddle. Again, same screws. And watching that seam right there get less and less and less. And I'm looking for that little dent of the foam starting to dent in. Then I know I'm there. Okay. Support it from the other side. Okay, start to see that dent in just a touch. This is a very simple assembly for a plane. Really is. Even though it looks like the plane's very complicated, looking on film and everything, the videos, it's not. Yeah, this is a nice, there has been a lot of thought and planning that has gone into this. Yeah, that's in there. All right, now turn your model over. Okay. All right, now what do we got here? Got this entire assembly here. This entire back section. We know what's going to go there, the motors. We got 6 connection points, but we've also got the wiring. Now, what you're going to want to do, unfurl the wires, and I put zip ties to hold the entire conglomeration together. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a last zip tie and put them down at the very end. This zip tie I'll probably end up removing. Okay. To give the room for these other stuff to kind of expand around. There's a pretty good sized trough. Now, I'm not going to anchor that one down. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. But this way all the wires will stay together. Okay. I'm going to take this big zip tie, or this big go get 'em wire that they have provided. This is not going to be easy. Not that part, because of the... All right. All right, now, one thing you're going to want to do, I can already see, you're looking down this channel. If you look down that channel, you don't want them to come to the top. See the lower half? You see the very top box, the very top of that shelf where the guard and the confusion box, or that box is? You want them to come down below that. There's a lot more room down there. Okay? Of course, I got to figure out what all hooks in there, because everything appears to be already hooked up. So let's take a look and see what we got going on the end of this. Well, okay, this is just, yeah, okay. This is just your 2 reverse function, your 2 throttles, and your UBEC. So I don't think you're going to be hooking that up to anything. I think it's all going to, yeah. All right. I still think you should put it through the bottom. Okay. All right, for this step here, this is going to be a little more complicated. Okay. This is why I left. Set that off to the side. I'll take that, go get them wire, hook them in, hook that into my zip tie that I've got there. Maybe. There we go. Get that headed that way. Grab my conglomeration here. Yep. Gonna guide that through there. There's almost enough room for your hand. All right, well, let me fight with that, and I'll show you what. But anyways, you're going to pull that all the way through the front. Alrighty, it finally all came through. Just had to keep pulling it back and forth, but it finally came through. So now we can snug down, attach our motors. This thing is so big now, it's blocking out even blocking my view out. And you got 6 connection points there. Of course, I cut myself in the process. You know, this whole thing's camo. Got different, it's a very subtle camo, but it's camo. I mean, this sucker fits together tight. Tight, tight, tight. All right, when you're done, you're left with one extra screw and two of those cone things. And that's pretty much it. All right, let me get this wire unhooked here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go through all the peripherals because they just plug in. They're nothing special. Literally, they just, the spots, they just plug right in. There's no gluing. Okay, this is just the basic assembly. All right, this is not a small model, not by any means, not by any stretch of the imagination is this small. Pull your, as for your wings, pull these ribbons out. Okay, they're in a very obvious little pocket there. Pull them out. All right, going to grab your wing spars. The larger of the two wing spars, the larger one goes to the front. Okay. Smaller one, or the thinner one. The longer but the thinner one is to the back. Nope, hold on. There you go. Sometimes you have to give it a twisting action. Okay. Let me grab the other wing. It's easier to, okay. All right. You got your two connection points. You got your ribbon cable. See them two teeth ends right there? Look on the top of this ribbon here, and you'll see two little teeth ends here. Where those? It's a very, like I said, these ribbons only fit one way. Okay, get it in close. This one you'll have to be upside down. It only fits one way. This, and folks, this should not be, this definitely should not be your first model. This is an advanced model, okay? And that fits in there one way. It's designed to be taken on and off, okay? Make sure you see white now. Slide your wing in, lock it into place. That wing is on there. Okay, gonna hold some pressure on this so I can get the weight of the other wing on here. Line these spars up. They only fit one way. Okay. Grab your ribbon cable. Okay, both these ribbon cables, the teeth fit towards the bottom of the plane. Has a very obvious connection. Okay. Make sure those are out. Make sure that cable's in there. Sometimes they fit kind of tight. In. All right. Now, as I hit other things, that wing, oh, this is a big plane. That wing is on there. Okay. Wow. All right, let me set you back. Okay. All right, folks. There you go. That's the basic assembly. Very basic assembly. We haven't put the peripherals on. Of the all-new FREEWING Thunderbolt version 2. All the peripherals and everything like this will go on. You'll see before I do the maiden. Okay. That just... How does that go on? Okay, it slides down. Maybe. Sometimes these things fit real tight, but after you take them on and off about 500 times, it won't be a problem. Oh, boy. There you go. Again, fits very tightly. All right. There you go, folks. That's the basic assembly. We'll have all the bombs and everything on at the field and the water to slide decals. All right, y'all have a good one. God bless you. See you out the field. Bye-bye.